Ever felt like you've discovered something so wonderful that telling someone about it almost seemed wrong? Like the reason it was so unknown in the first place was because someone was deliberately keeping it a secret. Listen, I'm not claiming to be the first person to ever visit this city, but in the circles I run in online and in person, this city just doesn't seem to get enough love. I'm talking about Penang Island, Malaysia, in the colonial city of Georgetown. After watching this video, you're gonna see why this city is the city that you didn't know you needed in your life. Let's go. Hey guys, my name is Nicky and welcome to my adventurous life. This is an eclectic channel that details my journey from being a frustrated public school teacher in America to living a life of adventure, pursuing meaningful work, and experiencing all that the world has to offer. In this video, you're going to learn all about the island metropolis of Penang, Malaysia, and its history and culture. Plus, you'll get a first-hand look at our travels on the island so that you'll know exactly what spots to hit when you launch out on your own adventure. By the end of this video, you're gonna find yourself scouring Google Flights for the first round-trip tickets to Malaysia that you can find. As always, please like the video and subscribe to the channel and visit my website, nickyfrizen.com, to learn more about my vision and how you can transform your unfulfillment into a life of adventure as well. Penang Island, the colony that the British called the Pearl of the Orient. It's one of the most interesting cities I've ever visited. If you love history and a mashup of many diverse cultures and incredible street food, you'll love this Malaysian wonder city. Penang is a 114 square mile island that sits about 14 miles off the coast of the Malaysian mainland, and it's inhabited by nearly 1 million people. It's a true modern metropolis complete with pool-topped high-rise apartment buildings, incredible artisan cafes, and tons of immaculate street art. This island was largely uninhabited until a British explorer named Francis Light proposed to the British Crown a plot to lease the land from Sultan Abdullah Mukarram Shah, an Islamic ruler of Malaysia in the year 1786, to establish a new post for British trade. After securing this lease, Light quickly set up a permanent trade settlement that was immediately appealing to a number of diverse groups of people looking for new opportunities in the Straits of Malacca. The island quickly became home to Chinese, Malay, Indian, and Thai immigrants, and became a hugely important piece of the British Empire's trade influence in the region, along with the colonies of Singapore and Malacca. Light named his capital city Georgetown after then reigning British sovereign King George III, best known for his role in the Broadway hit Hamilton. Today, the historic architecture of colonial Georgetown houses artsy cafes and restaurants, unique homestays, and a culturally diverse array of shops and stores. This little town is simply stunning. And though there are some more touristy elements, for the most part, the city is extremely authentic. On our trip, we arrived at the Penang International Airport from the Malaysian island of Langkawi. From there, we took a grab out to our Airbnb, which was a bit outside of Georgetown in an area called Georgetown. The stays out there were a bit cheaper, and I think we nabbed our place for around $60.65 per night for a 3-night stay. It was a solid 1-bedroom apartment on the 15th floor of one of those signature high-rise apartment complexes. There was a nice outdoor pool on the 9th floor, but the weather was a bit too cool to really enjoy it. Most of the year the climate is steamy, but we visited over Christmas. Malaysia is a predominantly Islamic country, but during our stay we saw the unbelievable amount of cultural and ethnic diversity that's been a part of Penang Island since its inception. As you can see, we saw mosques, temples, and churches. We also tried a number of different cuisines, including Indian food, Chinese, Malay, and Western food. If you find yourself in Georgetown, make sure you eat at the Capitan restaurant for Indian. They have amazing tikka masala. While eating there, I was reminded of the cantina scene from Star Wars because at this retro Indian eatery, our drinks were delivered by a robot. Not kidding. This little R2 brought the drinks to everyone's table, and it was an odd and unexpected experience, but pretty cool. We also ate at the Texan restaurant, which is usually near the top of any Penang food option list. This was the line at the restaurant, but for a party of two, it moved pretty quickly. The food was good. We had the home recipe double roasted pork with chili patty. It was delicious. We also had the garlic bok choy and the Assam tumis with black pomfret, taking a recommendation from Mark Ween's travel blog. We were not big fans of the Assam tunis. We ordered it because we thought we wanted to try a distinctly Malay dish, but it was the type of seafood that people only seem to enjoy in Asia. By that I mean, it was fishy fish. Isn't that a funny distinction that we make? Fishy fish. I ate most of it. The taste was fine, nothing special, but having your dinner stare back at you is never a fun experience for me. Overall, Texan was good, but a bit overrated in my opinion. Another good lunch spot is a little restaurant near the bay called Haven. They have delicious handheld sandwiches, and the owner is a friend of my wife's, so check it out. One thing you must do while in Penang is eat at a hawker market. These street stalls are famous for their greasy treats. People literally flock to them each night, and they make for really fun cultural experiences. Unfortunately, on this night, our stomachs were still recovering from a recent bout with food poisoning from our last destination, and we weren't brave enough to give anything a try, but the cuisine looked delicious. Later we went back and had some stir fry and it was excellent. Penang is also home to many picturesque cafes. Here are a couple shots from the cafe hopping that we did. Check out those churros. Some cafes to check out are the Black Kettle, Mugshot Cafe, and Bricklin Cafe and Bar. The one really touristy thing we did was visit this life-size food museum. It was pretty cheap and a great place to get some goofy shots for an hour or so. It actually had a lot of great information on the local food culture as well. If you're in Penang, make sure to take a trip to the jetties. These mostly Chinese communities have been in existence since the 19th century. Now they mostly cater to tourists, but they were once home to much of the immigrant working class. They tell a uniquely beautiful story of the human condition, and I couldn't help but wonder what the current residents felt like as they sat in their living rooms as streams of tourists and novelty seekers peered in through their windows. I've already shown you some of the immaculate street art, but I'm not sure I can adequately communicate how inextricably linked the art culture and the overall culture of the city truly are. We had the opportunity to check out a gallery that a local artist was displaying, and we made it a point to stop at some of the more famous murals, but it would have taken weeks to view all the art in the city. We had a great time exploring the city, and I can promise that if you decide to adventure here, you will as well. Next time you're in Southeast Asia, make sure to make a pit stop in Penang. So if you think you've got what it takes to live adventurously, make sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to sign up for my email list at nickyfrizen.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.